So our Vice President, Kamala Harris, she went down to Latin America. She is the point person on immigration in the Biden administration, certainly for the Mexican-United States border and the troubles that the United States has seen there. So she went down to Guatemala and also Mexico to see what she can do to fix the border issues, speaking to some of the leaders from Guatemala and Mexico. Now, after her meeting with Guatemalan President Alejandro Giammattei, Harris offered an optimistic outlook for improved cooperation with Guatemala on addressing the spike in migration to the United States. She also delivered a direct warning to migrants considering making the trek to the United States. She says, quote, "Do not come. Do not come." I want to emphasize that the goal of our work is to help Guatemalans find hope at home. At the same time, I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border, do not come. Do not come. Now, Harris promised a new program focused on creating education and economic opportunities for girls. But for all the talk about the new ways to cooperate, reining in corruption and improving living conditions in the region have been challenges. I think the biggest issue, from people Honduras and El Salvador, this is just my assessment of the situation. And I could be wrong, and there's individual people who are different. But, and I've met people from all parts of the world. I literally have handled over 100,000 immigration cases in my lifetime. I've talked to everybody. My assessment is that El Salvador and Nicaragua people are escaping more violence. Guatemala people are escaping the poverty. So Guatemala, if anywhere there is going to be a place where you're going to be able to stop the surge of people coming to the Mexican-United States border, it's going to start in Guatemala, because Guatemalans are coming because they have no money. They're extraordinarily disadvantaged, and as a result, they're coming to the United States for a better life. Many Guatemalans, but not all, like to come to America, make their money. By the way, this is people from all parts of the world, not just Guatemala. Come to the United States, make money, and send remittances back home to take care of the rest of their family. Okay? And it is the remittances that go back, and it's also to Jamaica, much of the West Indies, Central America. It's the remittances that keep people alive and a roof over their head in certain countries. And then many Guatemalans, not all, they want to save their money, go home, and live the life in Guatemala. I don't know that necessarily they all want to live in America for the rest of their lives. Guatemalans, the people I've met at least, and maybe I'm stereotyping, and maybe I haven't met everybody from every part of Guatemala, but from what I have seen, it's more economic disadvantage that they're coming here. So then the question becomes, the United States is going to give money to the Guatemalan government. And they've been doing it for years to try to, boost up the economy of Guatemala. But obviously that money is not getting into the right people's hands. My guess is it's all corruption. It goes into people's pockets. And there's probably a group of very wealthy people in Guatemala who are most likely taking advantage of many of the people who don't have a lot of money. There's probably very little middle class in Guatemala. I've never actually been there, but I can imagine there's very little middle class. You're either extraordinarily rich or poor. I don't know the answer because I'm not a government specialist. There has to be a way to get the money into the hands of Guatemalans to allow them to start an economy there. Nobody says it's going to be an economy like New York City, okay?
Right.
But to start an economy there that they say, you know what? It's not worth it to us to risk our lives, to trek across Central America, to come to the border of Mexico and live in Tent City for 9 months to try to enter the United States of America and even risk my life, all for that economic opportunity. There has to be a way to get the money into their hands, because the United States is spending money on the border. Isn't it much more humane to take that same money, put it in somebody's hands? I'm not saying give money to start giving out handouts to Guatemalans, but there's got to be a way that we can foster that economy to get people to stay and live their lives there, because many people want to, certainly in Guatemala. El Salvador and Nicaragua is a different situation. I think more of a dangerous situation in those countries. What do you think, Vanessa?
When you first broke that down, I only feel so strongly about this because I grew up in a highly Hispanic, Latino dominated area. So I grew up around a lot of Central Americans, South Americans, and it's exactly how you broke it down. Like, Guatemala is so deep in poverty, and there are a lot of people that really just come here in search of the American dream to be able to just save their families back home. And I do have friends in the industry that speak really highly of the violence happening in Nicaragua, and actors and celebrities, and it's been something that they're bringing a lot of awareness to because there's so much happening in these countries that we just do not know. Like, we just do not know. And it's up to those certain people that are advocates for these nations to bring this to attention. But yeah, it makes me feel like so fulfilled to see the vice president visiting these places.
I actually was going to agree because, Brad, you were saying, like, how can they get the money into the right place to start building? And I feel like what Nesquik said, I think it would kind of have to be up to a lot of the public figures and stuff, just like how Akon took all his money and his resources and went back to Africa and is building a whole city, you know? So I think that's the best way, because I can't quote or I can't say that this is what it is, but a lot of the times, you know, the government is so crooked and corrupt that if you did give them the money, they probably would use it for their own stuff. So like, it would be like public figures like Akon had did in Africa. So I think so.
You know,
I think that would be a good way.
I think you're 100% right, and you're right on the money, not necessarily public figures, but you're on the money that there has to be a way to circumvent just giving blank checks to governments that squander money and don't give it to the people who need it. You know, there's got to be lots and lots of people who work on farms, or even have little farms in Guatemala. It's an agricultural country, or a lot of it is, that if they were able to, you know, get their products to market, if they were able to not be taken advantage of by wealthy landowners. I don't know the answer, but I do know that it's circumventing the government and getting the money to people in local areas to bolster their lives so that they don't have to make that trek to the border, so that the United States doesn't have to spend billions of dollars defending a border from people who are coming to try to apply for amnesty or even enter without inspection, and many risking their lives trying to cross the border. I think there's a better way to spend the money. Hopefully, Kamala Harris figures it out. You're not meeting with the president of Guatemala and saying, here, Guatemala, the United States is going to give you money, because that's not helping the people in the end. I don't have the answer. I'm not a specialist in Guatemala. I just know from talking to many individuals who are from that area of the world. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.